Before we get started, I just wanted to let everybody know that from now on, pods will be on YouTube. There will be a podcast every Monday and Wednesday, as much as we can. And the description will give an idea for what the day's topics are about. Most topics and most shows will be about pro wrestling, sports, nerd culture, and then whatever we kind of feel like adding on to it. I don't really have a length planned for each show. Essentially, what happens is I write out a script, everything I want covered in an episode, and however long it takes is how long it takes. I hope each episode to be between 30 to 90 minutes, but we will see how that all goes. So just again, from now on, they will be on YouTube under the Going Over Clean podcast channel. They'll be coming every Monday and Wednesday to the best of our ability. We can do it. We're college students. We work a lot. We intern a lot. We're doing the best that we can. And then each show will cover at least some sports, some bit of pro wrestling, and then a little bit of nerd culture. And then we're always going to have our little bit of fun and games. Now let's get started with the next episode. Welcome to episode 2 of the Going Over Clean podcast. I am your host, Chris. With me, as always, Muscles Marinara himself, yeah. Cam. How are you today, Cam?
Oh, not too bad. How's it going?
Oh, it's going. Did you do anything special over the weekend?
No, just work.
Just work?
And studying.
You catch the Yankees game at all?
Caught a little bit of it.
That was a real heartbreaker.
It was kind of expected.
Oh, I know. I mean,
Yankees can't play on the road for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly, they're really good at home.
They're really good at home. They're scoring 6+ runs at home, and then the most they can muster out on the road is 1 run, except for 0 runs in the last game. Yeah,
so they're definitely going to be looking into the offseason to make some sort of additions. I thought, in all honesty, if they'd gotten bounced in the first round, this might have been Girardi's last year. But I really, at this point, I don't think they should let him go. I think he should stay. He did really well as a manager. I mean, then if you're looking, Dusty Baker's out.
He is.
And and Terry Francona was out, and within days, Francona's job was already replaced. So the second Girardi walks out that door, he's probably going to be the Nationals manager.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because people will go nuts for Girardi because he's still probably one of the best managers in baseball.
Yeah,
it's not like a Tyronn Lue thing where you get there in spite of him.
No.
So, anything else you watch? Watch Patriots game, any of that type of stuff? Anything over the weekend?
Patriots game, I didn't catch too much of it. I was too busy studying, but defense finally decided to show up.
Yeah, I know.
And they had a bunch of injuries to begin with, so against the Falcons, but the Falcons aren't nowhere near as they were last year.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit, though. Just wanted to see if you did catch it. So I didn't do too much. Went to the gym a little bit, watched some Flash. I got some breaking news on anyone that watches the DC shows. DC has officially casted a Beast Boy. Ryan Potter, the voice of Hero in Big Hero 6, will be Beast Boy in the upcoming DC show Titans. It's set to come out next, or set to develop in 2018. Not a set date yet. He's going to be joining the cast of Brenton Thwaites, who will be playing Robin / Nightwing, so he'll be Dick Grayson. Tegan Croft is Raven. This is actually her 3rd role in all of her career, so that'll be interesting. Anna Diop as Starfire, and currently they have not signed a Cyborg yet. So they're still working on a Cyborg. Maybe they're looking to see how the one in Justice League does, how Ray Fisher does.
I don't even know who half of those people are.
So have you ever seen Pirates of the Caribbean? The new Pirates of the Caribbean?
I have not.
Okay, so he's in the new... Brenton Thwaites is in the new Pirates of the Caribbean. He's also in a movie called Gods of Olympus.
Okay.
I believe it's that.
Heard that.
Tegan Croft, who's playing Raven, you probably have not seen anything of.
No.
If you've ever seen the new 24 Legacy 2016, Anna Diop is in that show, and there's no Cyborg yet, so you haven't seen Cyborg at all.
At all? No.
Nope, no Cyborg at all. No. So, I mean, DC intrigues me the most because they have the set difference between, like, so like Marvel has one whole universe, if you didn't know this. So like the TV shows reflect the movies and the movies reflect the TV shows. Even on Netflix, the same way. All of it ties together in one universe. The shows and the movies are two completely different things. Okay. So like The Flash on CW, Grant Gustin, who plays Barry Allen, he's different than the Ezra Miller Flash, who's also Barry Allen in the Justice League movies. Yes.
That's weird how they do that.
It's weird, but you know what I thought was really funny was that people hated. Well, the movie hasn't come out yet, so we'll give him a little bit of credit. I think Henry Cavill does the best Superman you can do because I was watching a documentary. It's on Netflix about filming the Superman movies. It's very hard to do Superman as a character because it's not like he gets to be brooding. He always has to be the good guy. He always has to turn the other cheek. He has to be the perfect role model. And it's just hard to make him look good, like doing the action of him flying. Like, you can't make a guy laying on his stomach with his arms out any cooler than like what it's going to look. So it's very hard to get creative with the character. So I think Cavill does a really good job with it, though. I think he's a really good Superman. Affleck, I've got mixed feelings about as Batman. I like him as Bruce Wayne. I really like him, honestly. I do, but then the stories of how difficult he's been to work with this script for the Batman movie, it's just like the Batman movie's not going to come out till like 2018, 2019 at the earliest. Because it's just been so much to deal with his schedule and changes to the script. So that always kind of worries me. But you know what I find really intriguing is that people hate the movie franchise, the DC movies, but they love the TV shows.
Really?
So when you're talking the TV shows, I'd say DC's way better than Marvel. I'd say Flash is phenomenal. Because each show, like if you watch each show conveys a different message, similar to how they do the movies of the Marvel movies. So like if you like your Space Odyssey sci-fi comedy movie, Guardians of the Galaxy is for you.
Easily.
So it's a type of thing where the superhero movie is kind of added on to the end of the genre. So if you like a goody two shoes hero who's always going to do the right thing, Captain America. Right. You want a hero that is a cool guy, maybe he lives a careless life, right there you got Iron Man. If you like a lighthearted comedic hero who's fun loving, you got Spider-Man. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not like that. It's just boring. Like I tried to watch a couple seasons of it, I just couldn't get through it. No. But like that's how the DC shows are set up. So like the first show, it's technically called the Arrowverse because it started with Arrow 5 years ago.
Okay.
Arrow is one of my favorite shows. I was first introduced to Arrow. I didn't even know that it was the Green Arrow. I just thought it was just some random show because I was probably a sophomore in high school. I didn't know really much about DC other than like Batman and the Dark Knight because that's what everybody loved was the Dark Knight.
Yep.
So I never really got into it. But then I started watching Arrow and I was like, wow, this guy is great as Stephen Amell is great as this Green Arrow. He's like the Batman of the genre. He's brooding. He always questions himself. It's a really dynamic way to twist the character around because like with Superman you can't do that. With his Green Arrow character, he's not because his background is that he was on a ship with his father who's a billionaire of Queen Consolidated, and the ship was destroyed in a thunderstorm. He was left abandoned on an island for 7 years, and now he's made his return to Star City.
That's a story.
Well, I mean, it's really good in all honesty. The way they do the show is so you'll watch part of the first season started to do it, and now they've started to kind of do flashbacks to the very beginning of the show. But you get to see the progression, the character that Oliver has. So in the very beginning of the first season, he's coming back and he's got a list of people that have done the city wrong. He's killing them all. Arrows to the chest, arrows to the knees. He's taking no victims. He's putting them in a pool of their own blood.
So he's been on island for seven years, and he just come back and start killing people.
Yeah, because he was trained. There's a whole. You need to watch it. If you watch the first season, you'll understand why he gets trained and how he gets trained. I will not spoil it for anybody. I will not tell anybody because it's a really good show to watch.
Yeah.
Essentially, he washes up on an island in the western coast of Japan, somewhere on the coast of Japan. The name of the city's escaping me. The name of the island's escaping me right now. But so he's not alone on the island. He has to learn to survive on the island. There's some unwanted guests on the island. There's some friends he's got on the island. He actually leaves the island a lot and then would return to the island. So he left, did some missions, came back. He did some stuff for the government, like Black Ops CIA, came back, did stuff for the Russian mob, then came back. And that's how it ends, is that he had done a run-in with the Russian mob, and then he comes back to the island, fights the main villain, which is Dolph Lundgren,
No way.
Oh yeah, Ivan Drago himself was the main villain of like his flashbacks, and then he is brought back to Star City. So it's a really, really good show, and it's a show that sets up the franchise. And what I mean is by it sets up is like anytime you see what's coming next for DC, is it usually starts on Arrow. So like the first thing that happened on Arrow was there was the Collider explosion. And who's affected by the Collider explosion? Barry Allen. Who's Barry Allen? Barry Allen's the Flash.
The Flash.
So you don't just, it's not like it's like, here's episode 1 of no lead up, not anything. You're just going to have to, they really kind of get out of the way of the growing pains of the first couple episodes of getting to know all the characters, because you learn the characters through the other shows. So Arrow is usually the way they introduce characters. So I'm going to be really intrigued with this show because they've made a lot of references to Bloodhaven. Bloodhaven is the town or the city that Nightwing actually protects.
Okay.
So that's where he's on his own. But this is supposed to be a show for Titans. So I'm wondering if it's going to be a flashback, if it's going to be them reforming for some reason. So it's going to be really intriguing what they're going to do. Because what I thought was really interesting is if you look at the cast, all of them are incredibly young except for Anna Diop, who's a little bit older. You're looking at these guys are probably in their late teens, early 20s.
Okay.
Because they, just like with Spider-Man, they plan on keeping them for a long time.
Right.
So you want to have them as the Teen Titans, or have them as the Titans, at least younger. Right. You don't want to have like 30-year-old guys out there going, "Let's go, young Titans, let's do this." Like one guy's like, "Let me take my pills, my back's blowing out." Ugh. All right, so that's my little rant on DC Universe. If you ever watched the DC shows, I highly recommend it. Sunday was TLC. By God, that was a mess. So the roster had a big outbreak, and this isn't a joke. This is something that many outlets have reported. You know, like the Dave Meltzer, who's like the Adam Schefter of WWE. Okay. He reports like the backstage stuff.
Yeah.
He reported that there was a lot of people walking out, and then there was rumors of guys being sent home. So I was reading the guys being sent home as something big. Turns out the ones that were being sent home, there's 3 of them, they have contracted some sort of disease. They are not sure if it's meningitis or if it's mumps. It has spread throughout the locker room.
Really?
So last night's main event was supposed to be Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, the 3 members of The Shield, right, taking on The Miz, Sheamus and Cesaro, who were the Bar, the Beast Among Men, the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, one of the greatest acts in pro wrestling right now. You will laugh and be astounded by the sheer size of Braun Strowman and Kane, because Kane just came in at the very end because at WrestleMania Roman Reigns retired The Undertaker.
Right. Oh,
so
really?
Kane came out and was like, "Oh, you retired my brother," which, and I mean, in real story, the reason Kane hasn't been around is he's been running for mayor. So he's been getting. Kane is a really interesting figure in like the real world. He actually would go on CNN and MSNBC quite often and talk about economics.
That's funny.
No, that's the truth. You can go on Fox News and you can watch a man named Brodus Clay. That was his WWE name. He will be on like the Fox shows. But like the difference is when Kane's on, he's in a suit and a tie. He's not wearing his mask or anything.
Well, but he hasn't worn his mask in years, though.
Oh yeah, he has. Okay. But when this guy, when Tyrus goes on to Fox News, he's in a t-shirt. Sometimes he's in a shirt with a vest. It's always a backwards Yankee hat, a pair of jeans. He's sitting cross-legged, like he's just like this is just his house, and he's just chilling in an enormous chain. So I'll be working out because they put Fox News right next to CNN and MSNBC, right in the gym. Which I don't know why they do that. Like I can't get Fox Sports 1. I have to ask for that.
Or ESPN or something.
But they put ESPN on, but like I have to walk up to the guy at night and be like, "Hey, nobody's here, dude. Can you put it on Fox Sports 1?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." It's not like I give a fuck. So, no, but I'll always see him on there. I laugh and I take a picture of it. And I send it to my brother and my friend all the time. Like, Brodus Clay's on talking about the funkonomics of the Obama administration. And the worst part is he's on Fox News ripping apart minorities. This is what he's usually doing.
What?
Yeah, I know. He used to be a bodyguard for, I think, Alex Rodriguez or Snoop Dogg, one of the two.
Really?
No, it's Snoop Dogg, because Snitsky, I don't know if you remember Snitsky, Gene Snitsky, the wrestler. He's now the bodyguard of Alex Rodriguez, which Gene Snitsky has one of the most infamous segments in history where he stole a baby and then he punted it into the crowd. And then he just yelled, "It's not my fault." So anyway, back to TLC. So they decided to throw Kurt Angle in. And by all means, I love Kurt Angle. Not as a pro wrestler, as an Olympic wrestler, amateur wrestler. This is a true story. He won the gold medal with a broken neck. What? He broke his neck during the tournament and won and finished the tournament and won. Oh my God, the guy's tough as nails. So I love Kurt Angle. So when I heard they're going to add Kurt, they took Roman Reigns out because he had been infected by this illness, and they put in Kurt Angle. So I'm expecting these two guys, the two guys of the Shield, to come out in their normal Shield getup, which is black boots, black pants, black shirt, black vest with sometimes they wear combat gloves. And I'm expecting Kurt Angle to come out in the same thing he's worn his entire 20-year career in pro wrestling and then his 20-year career in amateur wrestling. A singlet and wrestling shoes and a gold medal around his neck. He came out dressed up as a Shield member. He looked like, and this isn't even a joke, he looked like the father of one of the two who was just dressing up to be part of the group. He's like, "Oh, that's my son out there. Yeah, woo! Gotta pull him out, gotta pull for him. Let's go." So, there was only really one great match in that whole event. It was AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, which you want to take a guess? I don't know if I've ever told you this. You want to take a guess what stable those two used to lead before they signed with WWE?
I have no idea.
The infamous Bullet Club that I've always gone on about.
Oh.
I was going to go on a rant about it before, but I'll wait for another day.
Yeah, another day.
Club. Yeah, well, they're always pop. Like, they're always news.
Oh, they're going to be popular for a while.
They're always news because there's always some guy ripping them apart. Like, Roman ripped him apart in an interview 2 weeks ago. Chris Jericho ripped him apart on Twitter yesterday. And Kenny Omega was like, "Never meet your heroes, folks." So, because, like, the super WWE guys always rip those guys apart. Because I guess they think it's war now.
They take it personal.
Yeah. So, I want to get back to this topic, though, because this is something I find very, very intriguing and fun. You are a man of fitness. You go to the gym quite often.
Yep.
How many times a day do you go to the gym? How many times a week do you go to the gym?
Well, normally I go 5 days a week.
The ideal goal?
5 days a week for about 2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours. I go 4 to 5 days a week, roughly about 30 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
And how much of your 2 to 3 hours is cardio?
0.
Okay.
I ain't got no time for cardio.
30 minutes of mine is dedicated purely to cardio. So I just want to ask you this. Give me some horror stories about people you've seen at the gym. And I'm not trying to be like I'm not talking about the guys where it's like, "Oh, this guy didn't use the machine right," or "This guy was doing this funny." I'm talking about this. So I'll give you an example. I was at the gym about last month. And so I'm looking, this was right before the Mayweather-McGregor fight. I'm sitting there and I'm just doing my leg extensions. There's a guy in the mirror kicking the mirror.
Like literally
kicking the mirror and the weights.
Kicking the mirror.
Yeah, he's kicking the mirror and then he's kicking the bench. He's like pretending to be like Conor McGregor. So, like, just throwing his arms around, like kicking, like he's Conor McGregor. And to me, it's like, have some etiquette, dude. Like, what? People are out here trying to do stuff, and you're out here swinging around like a fool. And he's wearing sunglasses, got jeans on, and I'm like,
jeans? Who wears jeans to the gym?
Well, let me specify. They weren't like jeans. They were jorts.
Oh man,
jorts.
That's even better.
They were cut. They were hemmed jorts. So either he bought them as jorts or he bought jeans and turned them into jorts. Because the only man I know that's wearing jorts right now is John Cena, and he doesn't even wear them anymore. He went to cargo shorts. So that's what bothers me at the gym is guys like that where you just have no respect for anybody else around you. Like, I don't care if you go 5 minutes a day and you walk on a treadmill, or if you're there 4 hours a day and you're doing every machine you can do. More power to you either way. I'm not judging that. What I'm judging is the people that go to make a spectacle out of it, where it's like, "Hey, look at me, I'm a douchebag at the gym." Like, just grow up. Really, it's not hard. Grow up. Like, I don't even mind the guys that walk around all day. Like, I mean, it annoys me because, like, every time I look up, they're staring at me. Because, like, I go at night. So, like, there's 5 of us in the gym at night.
Right, it's probably not too busy.
So, when one guy's just walking around the place staring at people, you got a 1 in 5 chance, or 1 in 4 chance because he's one of the 5. You got a 1 in 4 chance he's staring at you. This is a little bit of an embarrassing story for me, but I'm going to give it anyway. Most embarrassing thing I ever did at the gym was at Liverpool at the high school.
Oh, boy.
I squatted for the first time in my life, and then all of a sudden I heard like this ripping noise. I thought it was my back. And someone thought, oh, you ripped ass, ha, ha, ha. And I was like, oh, maybe I did, I don't know. And then all of a sudden I was like, started to get a little cold. And I just didn't know. I was like, yeah, someone probably put the fan on. I go into the locker room after. Clean break right down the back.
You're talking about like SpongeBob?
Oh, SpongeBob ripped my pants.
Yep.
SpongeBob straight ripped my pants. Nobody noticed. I don't know how.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, I don't know. So then the other day, I wasn't feeling too well. This is a little bit of a grotesque story, but oh well. I had a little bit of a migraine. Wasn't feeling the best. Wasn't feeling 100% me. Still took my thermo, went to the gym. I went at like 11 o'clock at night, actually, because it was after the Yankees game.
Okay.
So, I put my headphones in. Like everybody, everybody usually puts headphones in. Do you put headphones in?
Never.
You don't put... Wow. Oh, man, I'm just a weirdo then.
It gets in the way of everything.
Oh, actually, no, you're the weirdo. No.
I am the weirdo.
So I had headphones in. The 3 other people that were around me weren't wearing headphones. And all of a sudden, I was just lifting. And this is a very natural thing for most people. When you're lifting heavy weights, sometimes you break wind.
Oh, yeah.
Well... I broke wind and I took my headphone off just to kind of like breathe. Because I work out in a hoodie, so sometimes I just take it off, take the hood off, everything just to breathe for a minute. There was no music playing in the gym anymore. So I was really questioning if somebody had heard me rip the loudest ever, and B, if they're just looking at me like I am just the worst possible kind of person ever. To which my response is I don't know what to tell you.
Oh well, you have a Planet Fitness, so the other person can't be saying.
Yeah,
anything.
but see, I mean, to me, it's when you say like it's a negative thing. It's not like it's like there's some thick dudes that go to Planet Fitness. I've seen some huge dudes.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
But like I'm not talking like the sheer volume of guys you get at Gold's. But like there's some big dudes that I know I've sold test boosters to before, or I've sold like huge amounts of creatine protein to before. What I like to do one time, like it was like the first time I ever went there. I was very self-conscious when I went to the gym because I was probably about 40 pounds heavier than I am now. I went there and I just was using the leg machine because I was like, work out my legs. My knees are terrible, which my knees are still pretty bad. But doing the cardio and stuff makes it better. It's just walking up the hill. Because I walk up the stairs and do I never use the elevator.
No.
I've used the elevator once this entire semester. I walk up the stairs. So like on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I walk up the hill, then I walk up 4 flights of stairs, then I walk down 4 flights of stairs, down the hill.
That's a pain.
Well, I gotta do it.
I can't stand that.
I don't look like you. I gotta do it. So for me, it just helps me. Besides, after a while, like you just learn to deal with it. It's not even that bad anymore. So it was just a mess. It was a mess that day. Wasn't my Sunday best, but it is what it is. Speaking of guys actually here, what horror stories do you want to give me of guys at the gym you've seen?
This happened last summer because every summer Gold's, aka now Elevate Fitness, always did summer specials for summer memberships. There's this one guy. This guy literally lived in his van. He would always come in. He would bring duct tape with him. This dude would stack up 2 or 3 45-pound plates, duct tape them together. He would have someone. He would get in a push-up position. Have someone set the weight on his upper back so he could try to do push-ups with it. He would go down about 2 inches and go back up and then act like that was a rep for him. And sometimes he didn't put enough tape on, or sometimes he used to use packaging tape. It literally ripped off and the plates fell all over him. This guy was a nut show. That's probably the worst person I've ever seen at the gym.
So if you want to go people watching, go to Gold's Gym. Oh my God, I can't believe that.
You see some stuff over there. People do some weird stuff over there.
That's why I like my gym. It's 24 hours a day. There's like, I can just go there. I can do my lifting. I can do my cardio.
You can get out.
You can leave me the hell alone. I don't like to be pestered too much. Like,
Right.
well, like one time someone walked up to me because I was wearing my UFC kit shirt. One time someone walked up to me and was like, "Hey, where'd you get that shirt?" I was like, "Oh, Waterloo." Don't mind that.
Right.
But like, one time someone literally tried to have a full-on conversation with me, like, "Hey man, do you believe this weather that's going on in Florida?" And I'm like, "What?" I am literally covered. Like, I literally looked like I just got out of that storm in Florida because I was wearing a hoodie and shorts. I was literally soaking. I was dripping.
Oh, man.
Literally dripping out of my beard hair. I was dripping. That's how sweaty I was. And this guy wants to have a conversation about weather in Florida. I was like, come on, man. Come on.
That's not a conversation for the gym.
It is like, but in the locker room.
In the locker room, or if you're doing cardio or something. Not when you're trying to lift weights.
No. All right. Well, speaking of gym, you know who's a freak in the gym?
Who?
James Harrison's a freak in the gym.
Oh, he's a monster.
That's where I got the hoodie mentality from. Was from him and from Goku. To see Goku work out with the weighted clothes, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so much easier now when you take out the weighted clothes. And I see James Harrison just crush it in the gym. That guy is a monster.
Yeah, he's a beast.
So speaking of James Harrison in the NFL, Week 7 happened.
Yep,
Patriots won
they did.
23-7.
Yep,
How you feeling about that?
that game went a lot better than I thought it would. I thought the Patriots were about to get blown out or something. They're able to hold Matt Ryan, I believe, under 300 yards passing. That's their first quarterback they had that had not reached the 300-yard mark this season.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, for God's sakes, Josh McCown did it.
Yeah.
That tells you something. Josh McCown also threw a pick in Dolphins territory with about 30 seconds left in the game.
Oh.
When it was tied,
Oh.
lost the game for
Crushing.
the Jets.
Yo, he came back though and beat the Falcons last week or the week before. No, that was Miami. Never mind.
That was Buffalo.
That was Buffalo.
Beat Atlanta.
Woo. That's right.
I believe it was Buffalo beat. No, Miami beat them, but I think Buffalo beat Atlanta too. But no, he wasn't looking his Sunday best.
No.
Yeah, the Bills beat the Falcons 23-17.
So the Falcons. Okay.
That Bills game was tough. Did you watch that?
That was, who was it? The Bills.
Bucks.
Bills and Bucks.
That was crazy. Tre'Davious White at this point thank God for Tre'Davious White. If you're a Bills fan, you should get on your hands and knees and thank the gods that Tre'Davious White was there. In all other facets, he should not have been there. He was a top pick. I don't know why he went that late, but oh my God, is he a tremendous corner? Think about the corners, and actually just think about the defensive backs that come out of LSU.
Oh yeah.
Pat Pete. Tyron, the Honey Badger Matthew. You know, that's just Morris Claiborne.
Yep.
And some people, some people will be like, well, Claiborne's not that good. Claiborne's in the NFL.
Yeah, he's in the NFL.
How many Syracuse defensive backs in the NFL? Only a few. LSU is consistently producing
good corner. Good secondary.
Oh yeah. I think it was Boston College and Penn State used to be called linebacker U. I think those guys should be called corner U.
Yep.
Them or Florida State because they always produce corners. No, I mean, if you're a Bills fan, you're listening to this, you should take that win and be very proud of it because you may see the Bucs as an easy team. That is not an easy team. That is a team, in all honesty, that could probably still make the playoffs. That is a team with a solid defense, a great defensive line and great linebacking core, a pretty well-off corner core with Vernon Hargreaves, who's still kind of getting under his own, but he's still amazing. And he's getting better every year. Then you've got the franchise, the Big J, Big W, Jameis
Winston.
Famous Jameis Winston. I love Jameis Winston. He like when I want a QB, that's the kind of QB I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not standing up in the middle of a cafeteria yelling obscenities during a high school visit.
he really grew up. I think
He did.
He's grown up.
He's a goofy kid. He's a goofy guy. And that's the thing, too, is like he's a kid. He's 24. I mean, he's our age. People still call us kids. That's the thing with the NBA. Is the NBA, pro athletes, a lot of time, a lot of them are just really young guys.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, imagine to be like Carson Wentz.
Yeah, Winston.
You're in the middle of nowhere you were born in. Then you go to North Dakota State and you're thrown into Philadelphia, Pennsylvania as the hope to be the star.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. And the worst part, too, is for him, it's not like there's not like an Aaron Judge, there's not a Carmelo Anthony there. You are that.
Yeah, you're it.
The 76ers were in the fucking tank mode. Yeah, I'm gonna probably drop 2 or 3 F-bombs in this episode. I apologize. I have one literally scripted to drop. So they were in the process mode, just straight up tanking. Then the Phillies. I don't even know if the Phillies have fielded a team anymore.
Do they still play baseball?
They might. I don't know.
Are they AAA now or something? Because I don't think they play baseball no more.
I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I can honestly say I've not watched the Phillies play a game on national syndicated television in 2 years. At least 2 years. And that's even like running ads. Like I never saw an ad for a Phillies game where it's like, come see the Pirates and the Phillies. The Pirates are a great team, but the Phillies.
No.
Ugh. Ooh. So poor old Wentz got thrown into that, and he had to get thrown into this Chip Kelly mess that was that team.
Mess, yep.
And now they're 5-2 playing tonight.
5-1.
5-1.
Yep.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Going up against a division rival on Monday night, prime time.
8:30.
Yep. So we'll see.
We'll talk about that. That's one of the games to watch today. So for me as a Jets fan, you know me, I'm very creative, very fun. I'm already looking forward to the newspaper.
Yep.
So what I look forward to is I want some good old-fashioned headlines. I want the headline of the New York Daily News to feature a picture of Mason Rudolph with a green nose, and it says Rudolph, the green nose savior. Let's put that up. Or lose for Lamar with Lamar Jackson doing a good old front flip over some guys. L's for Luke. Suck for Sam. My favorite one. Fuck up for Falk.
Yep.
I love Luke Falk. I love Luke Falk and I love Mason Rudolph. I'm not as big on Sam Darnold as I was when the season started. But Lamar, I love.
You want to draft a quarterback? You know how that's gone for them in the past years.
I mean, who are we gonna win with?
You gotta buy one and get a quarterback.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you can't do that,
you gotta buy one in free agency.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly,
don't you got cap? You got cap, don't you?
We have like the most cap in the league. They've got $70 million in cap this year. We have enough to go out and sign Tremaine Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, and a franchise quarterback and be done, and like just break even on that, literally. Because all of our team is either guys that that's why everyone thought we were tanking. We cut all of our contracts and just went super young.
But you got quite a bit of teams ahead of you for that first pick.
Yeah, the Browns are definitely taking a quarterback. My mantra last year. San Fran's definitely taking a quarterback. Yep. They're taking Rosen. I'm pretty sure they're going to take Rosen because those LA teams like to take the LA players.
Yep.
Because it tries to get some asses in the seats.
Oh yeah.
So I remember at the beginning of the year, everyone was already counting Jared Goff out. Now he's part of the second most scoring offense in the NFL.
Yeah.
So,
or if not the highest scoring.
The second. I think the Falcons are first.
Nah, there's no way.
The Patriots might be first. I don't know who's first. I know the top scoring out. They're right there though.
I think they're number one now. In all honesty.
Well, this was as of last week, so maybe. So that just goes to show you.
They're at 212 points for the season. Chiefs are second with 207. The Patriots are 195.
So they're considered the second best because they're one of the highest scoring.
But is that efficiency wise?
That's the thing, is they don't get as many yards per game as New England.
But
so it's the Chiefs. Chiefs are considered number one. Okay. The Rams are considered number two. So, I mean, I'm looking at this. I see the Jets are 17th, breaking it right below, right below average, below the cutoff point. San Fran's in front of us. They're 0-6. So, how's that feel?
They're 0-7.
Oh yeah, I'm just a week behind. I'm a week behind.
Falling behind.
Yeah, I am. So. I mean, this is what's going to be great. Is I can't wait for this offseason.
But you think the Jets are going to be, what, top 10 pick, you think? Or maybe just outside the top 10?
I think so. I think they'll be right around top 10. One guy has us going 17th on WalterFootball.com. They have a 17th. Hell no.
No, that's not
happening. That's happening if literally 3 teams decide they don't want to play football anymore and they switch to cricket. Then the Jets have a chance of making the playoffs. Right. But, I mean, to me, honestly, the quarterback job in New York, it's honestly fairly sexy right now.
Yeah.
Look what we've done with 1 year of Ryan Fitzpatrick. We gave him a career year. We're giving Josh McCown a career year.
Yep.
So you can pitch it as like, hey, look what these guys are doing, and these guys aren't that great.
Good. No,
they're
not
considered journeymen that suck.
Career backups.
You call like Kirk Cousins or Garoppolo and go, look what you can do here. Speaking of Garoppolo, I've spent like the past week or two doing podcasts for the station about Dino. My God, I don't know. Do you believe that we pay Dino $1 million a year? Do you believe that? It's like $1 to $2 million a year.
Oh my God!
What a joke! What a joke!
That's a waste.
A waste? He beat Clemson. How's it a waste? We paid Boeheim like 10 times that salary, probably.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, look what Boeheim does for us. The NIT tournament, we get bounced. At least Dino.
Oh, don't even talk about that.
Oh, I will talk about that.
That's just embarrassing.
Exactly.
Boeheim is a cancer, I think. He is probably one of the most overrated coaches, I think.
I'd agree with you.
People act like he's all good and everything.
That's why I haven't said either of our last names, so they can't come burn our house down when we said we hate Jim Boeheim. In the studio, there's literally a picture of Jim Boeheim that hangs over the back. It's a huge picture of Jim Boeheim that he donated to the studio. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. Why would I want a giant picture of Jim Boeheim?
1 championship in how many years?
Exactly. 40 years he's been here.
And you can only win it once?
With Carmelo Anthony.
With Carmelo. Carmelo's not even, I don't think he's even that good. Melo's not even that good to begin with.
Ooh, those are fighting words. First you ripped apart Boeheim, and now you're ripping apart Melo? My God.
I'm not a fan of Melo. I don't know.
I mean, in all honesty, look it up. Better football players than basketball players. We have considered one of the greatest football players of all time, Jim Brown.
Yep.
You're going to have two Hall of Famers within this next... Well, one Hall of Famer within this next crop. You already had Marvin Harrison. Yep. Dwight Freeney will be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
That's not going to be a thing. One of the most infamous catches in Super Bowl history from a Syracuse alum, David Tyree.
Yep.
With that catch against the Patriots.
Yep.
So, Syracuse has the pedigree to be a good football school. Like, they've got a few Hall of Famers.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's what I find so... To me, Syracuse is a... And I don't want to get on this topic too much, because I do still want to get to the fun stuff. Syracuse is, to me... They are a team that has forgotten how good they were at football.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. So that segment was brought to you by Arby's, who remind you that maybe diarrhea isn't the worst thing you could get. Arby's, we have the meats. So let's just have a little bit of fun today. This is a little fun segment I want to do, kind of in place of $1 million, but just called "Will You Press the Button?" Okay?
Will you press the button?
Yes. So someone puts a button right here, and then they ask you. So you can use any superpower that you can imagine for yourself, easily turned on and off, anytime, anywhere. However, the moment you use them for something other than pure good of mankind, gaining money, fame, sex, etc., you lose them permanently. So first off, what superpower would you have if you could have any?
Any superpower.
Any superpower.
Ooh.
If you want to count being a Saiyan as a superpower, that will count.
Yeah, like if I could be a straight Saiyan, I'd be able to fly.
Yeah.
I can shoot key blasts, so I don't need no weapons because I make my own weapons. Superhuman strength. You got everything. That's all you need.
I mean, honestly, before I started watching Dragon Ball, I was gonna say being something like Cole McGrath from Infamous, because he shoots lightning out of his hands. He can turn stuff on. But literally, Goku can slow down time and walk around, and not to mention he's essentially bulletproof.
Oh,
he was
yeah,
bulletproof as a
bulletproof.
child.
Yep, as a
bulletproof as a child. His only weakness was his tail, which is gone.
Which is gone now. Yep.
So, to me,
You
I
have
would
everything.
Being a Saiyan, and then every time you get in a fight, you just get better. Like you get stronger.
You get stronger.
It's like being a Pokemon. Every time you battle, you level up, you get XP.
Right.
You just get even better.
Exactly.
So I would say that too, and I would take that without a shadow of a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when you are this good, people are going to give you that stuff anyway.
Anyways, right.
Like if you are a Super Saiyan, you know what's going to be the first thing that happens when you become a super, like when the YouTube video hits of alien invasion saved by Super Saiyan human. You know what's going to happen? The government's going to step in and pay you billions of dollars
for their defense
to get researched and tested on, and then thrown into the battlefield.
Yep.
You could essentially achieve world peace through fear.
Oh yeah.
Because people wouldn't want to come to America to fight you. Because it's like, why even waste the opportunity? You're just gonna get punched into the ground. Then, what else is even cooler is not only are you that strong, the Kamehameha wave. That is so cool. It's one of the coolest moves ever.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, if you don't agree with me, why don't you ask Juju Smith-Schuster?
Yep.
Stupid ESPN thought it was the
Hadouken from Street Fighter,
from Ryu.
Like no,
he literally had on cleats that had the Dragon Balls on him when he scored that touchdown,
right,
and everyone was like,
"It's from Street Fighter."
Kamehameha. And they're like, "Yeah, Hadouken. Isn't that what that means?"
No.
It's like, stop trying to be pop culture, ESPN. You're not.
Street Fighter has been relevant in years.
Nah, it really hasn't.
That's like original.
Here's a hilarious one. You will be able to play live, or you will be able to play every musical instrument you want to perfectly. However, you will not be able to play live. To me, that's at the point of most musicians now. I mean, with auto-tune and all the other bull crap. So it's like, essentially, you're Lil Uzi with talent. Or not Lil Uzi, Lil Yachty. I actually like one of Lil Uzi's songs. But, I mean, still, same thing, the auto-tune. I hate Lil Yachty.
I don't listen to anything mainstream.
I hate Lil Yachty because one of his first underground songs was Minnesota, and I thought it was hysterical because the lyrics are, "You need to stay up off these streets if you can't take this heat because it gets cold like Minnesota." You can't have heat and cold together. You gotta pick one or the other. And then his voice just goes like, "You need to stay up off these streets because it gets cold like Minnesota, cold like Minnesota." Yeah, like it's just, and that's the best I can do for you.
No.
Here's another one. You can live as long as you desire. However, you lose your ability to speak.
That's weird. I don't think you'll be able to do that, and I don't want to live as long. I don't think I want to live anything past maybe 85 to 100. Because once I feel like life just get boring after that part.
I mean, at that point, what are you doing with your life? Like, you can't talk to them. You're probably just sitting there like typing on the keyboard.
Yeah,
like,
you're Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, except you just sit there.
And I was
or like you're Black Bolt. Like if you're Black Bolt from the Inhumans, you just make hand signals this whole time. Because his voice is so powerful. If he murmurs, it can shake buildings and cause earthquakes. Damn. So like him yelling could destroy planets. Okay, how about this one? You would be able to tell when everyone is lying to you. However, everyone would know when you are lying to them. Would you push the button?
I don't know. I don't really lie too often. But, ooh, that's a good one. I don't think I could.
I wouldn't either. I mean, that's tough. I mean, once in a while, I like to tell a big old fib story. I'd be like, oh,
right.
Sorry I couldn't make it to hear car problems.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't make class or something.
My back hurts.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I can tell you're lying.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
How about this? You can eat your favorite food for the rest of your life without gaining any weight. However, you have horrible, painful diarrhea 3 times a day, which is essentially like eating Arby's.
Yep.
Essentially, you're eating Arby's all the time.
Yeah.
And if your favorite food is Arby's, you're eating Arby's all the time.
Right.
Would you take it?
3 times a day, though.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. 3 times a day. That can get bad. You can have some some health complications due to that.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that. I would never.
I could not do that.
So, before I switch on the next segment, the games to watch, I just want to explain something. So I talked to you before about this, before we even started this podcast, that I wanted it to be like a sports show, okay? And as you can kind of see, we're starting to transition off from that. I want to explain them why. So I was at work the other day, and one of the old people that used to work in the mall came in with his girlfriend or fiance. I'm not really sure. I'm not trying to sound rude because I know they're going to listen to this because she told me she was going to. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we're moving to Hawaii. We just don't know what to do with ourselves." I was like, "Oh, simple. Don't go to Hawaii. You go a little bit farther west. Right there's the American Samoan Islands. You get on that Samoan Island, and you walk up to the biggest dude you can find. You go, I want to be a pro wrestler," and you just become a pro wrestler. You just get the name like Ropati Patawi. That's gonna be your name, and then you just get super like in the 80s they were super racist when it came to the Samoans. The first Samoans came out, they were the wild Samoans, like crazy cavemen. And then like there's the guy that used to come out with Kamala. He was like the African like jungleman. Like that was his character. Like he literally came out and painted his nipples, painted his stomach, and he painted his face. And he had a handler. His name was Friday. That was the best. It was essentially a man dressed up as a zookeeper in a lucha libre mask. Never in my life would you inspire me more than Friday. So it's tough. I mean, I'd totally do it. Because, so like that's what he used to have, 2 stars on his nipples and then a moon on his stomach. That was his old gimmick. I believe the manager's name was Friday. I think that's what it was. I'm pretty sure. But like he used to have, like his nicknames, the Ugandan Headhunter, the Ugandan Great, the Mississippi Mauler, was his old names. Ugly Bear. That was his other name.
Ugly Bear.
Called him Ugly Bear. So, like, I'm just sitting there, and I'm just shooting the breeze, and I'm just ripping things apart. Like, I'm just making fun of everything. And I was like, and they're like, well, we don't know what we're going to see in Hawaii. I was like, simple. Watch Dog the Bounty Hunter when he's in Hawaii. You will get everything you need to see there. And then they're like, well, it's a tourist town, so
it is.
It's all tourist revenue. I was like, simple. Paint yourself up like Maui from Moana. Just walk around and sing rock songs. And just open tip jars, just like in Times Square. You dress up and just paint yourself. And then there you go. Or even with those flamethrowers. That'd be pretty cool.
Yep, yeah, you can do that.
Pretty dope. No, so I mean, after that, I learned that this is all about having some fun. I mean, we can talk sports, but I mean, as you heard, we had a lot of fun talking. It's more than just your typical, herd show. Right. Or First Take, where we're debating things as nut jobs or being lunatics and douchebags. Like we're here to have a good time. So that's just the transitional period I think we're going to be going to. I think you're going to be noticing more and more. We're going to be getting way more entertaining. Like when Wednesday rolls around, way more entertaining. Yeah. It's going to be a lot more fun.
Oh boy!
But it was because the weekend came for all the sports, so we had to do that. Yeah. So now we're going to come to the games to watch for between now and Friday. Games brought to you by Gran Turismo Sport, a generational game that comes around once every generation. Yeah. And I mean baby boomer, Generation X, Generation Y, Generation Z. Yeah. I'm not talking about every 5 years.
No.
That's how long it takes to make those games. So tonight you've got 5-1 Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington Redskins.
Yep.
In a divisional rivalry for, I think the Eagles are in first, but I think the Redskins are second.
Yeah, probably between them and
Dallas.
Yeah, they're in second. Yeah, because Dallas lost yesterday, so now Washington's percentage points ahead of them as of right now.
Yeah,
but I think Philly has this.
Philly's got this in the bag,
locked up. Yeah,
this is in the bag at this point. The Rangers, the 2-5-2 Rangers, by the San Jose Sharks tonight. True story. When I was at OCC, there was someone that told me they were a San Jose Sharks fan. I was like, I didn't even know there was one of you. It's just like being a Sacramento Kings fan. Like you just don't see many of them.
Non-existent.
Like there's anytime you see, up until 2 years ago when you saw a San Jose Sharks fan, there was like scientists following around studying him, wondering what led him to those decisions. So they play tonight at 7. And then here's some more games to watch coming for Friday. Friday, here's some 3 games to watch, 3 important games to watch, especially if you have a Nintendo Switch. Super Mario Odyssey.
Yep.
The second big Nintendo game this year following Breath of the Wild that came out in March. Breath of the Wild, 10 out of 10 would play again all the time.
Good.
It's one of the best. One of the best games I've ever played in my life. One of the best. Friday, Assassin's Creed Origin also comes out. This game's gonna be pretty interesting because
Didn't they take a year off?
they took a couple years off to make this game.
Yeah.
Because there have just been so many bugs with, like, I played I think it was Unity,
Okay.
the one that was in the French Revolution, and there was just so many bugs. It's like, I'm done playing these games. I didn't play Revelations. I didn't play any of the other ones. I think Syndicate came later. Revelations I played because Revelations. Never mind.
Yeah, Revelations like way before. Yeah.
I think it was like Revolutions or something like that. It was a game that came out for like the PS3
I think
or something.
the last one I played was the one before Black Flag, I think. Assassin's Creed 3 or no, not 3. No, was it 3? Or was it 4? Yeah, Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, it would have been 3.
Yeah.
4 is Black Flag.
Okay, yeah. That was the last one I played.
I can't. I mean, my parents were watching the movie on HBO, and they're like, "Wow, this is so interesting." They're like, "How come you wouldn't like this?" I was like, "I play this game all the time. When I'm playing it, you call me a fool, and you're like, this looks so stupid and boring." And now you're watching the movie. I can't wait for Tom Hiddleston to be Nathan Drake and have that come out. I'm gonna watch that probably 8 times.
Oh, whatever happened with that?
The Uncharted film?
Yeah, is that movie still in the
It's coming out. Yeah, they casted Tom Hiddleston.
Okay.
Spider-Man will be playing young Nathan Drake. I cannot wait.
Makes sense. Plus, isn't Spider-Man Marvel or Sony? No. It used to be owned by Sony.
Well, that doesn't matter.
Sony and Sony? No,
that doesn't matter. Oh, I'm being off here badly. Thomas Hiddleston is actually Loki. Oh my God!
that was even close.
I forgot what his name is. I thought it was. What was his name? I'm gonna look at him and be so stupid. Tom Holland. God, I'm so bad. I'm sorry.
Loki.
It's just a Monday. I didn't take my thermo. I'm off. Tom Holland will be playing Nathan Drake.
Okay.
I cannot wait for that movie. I think he was awesome in Spider-Man. I got the name wrong, but the actor was what I was talking about. He was great in Spider-Man. I thought he was really funny and lighthearted in Spider-Man. So I cannot wait to see him as Nathan Drake.
Spider-Man.
Young Nathan Drake. I think he's like 20 when the movie comes out.
Right.
So you can make a franchise out of these films.
Spider-Man, Nathan Drake, they have very similar.
The problem is it's going to run into one big problem. It's going to run into one big issue here. Tomb Raider's already coming up soon. Okay. Tomb Raider, they announced the trailer for. That blew up. They're remaking Indiana Jones, too.
Oh, really?
So this is going to fall right between Indiana Jones
and Tomb Raider.
So the problem is that people are even going to watch this and be like, "Oh, this is just a crappy Indiana Jones," or it's like, "Oh, this is just a dude," because it used to be called Dude Raider when it first came out.
Okay.
There's a pretty interesting story about Uncharted when it first came out. So it was going to be. They didn't have enough funding to finish the game, so they went to Microsoft and then they went to Microsoft and said, "Hey, look, we're looking to make this game called Uncharted. It's like Tomb Raider," and they're like, "We will not touch this with a 10-foot pole. We don't want it."
Ooh.
They called Sony, and Sony they'd made a bunch of games for it. They had done one of the big ones was Jak and Dexter.
Okay, yeah.
And I think they made Sly Cooper too. I'm not sure though. And so they went to Sony and said, "Hey, look, we got this idea for a game called Uncharted. It's going to be a guy. It's going to kind of be like Indiana Jones with some puzzling. So it'll be very similar to. It'll be like a mix between Indiana Jones and Tomb Raider." Sony was like, "Okay, we'll give you some money. We'll put it with the PlayStation 3 in a bundle." So they put it in free when you bought the PlayStation 3. You got Uncharted Drake's Fortune. Okay. That game of the year.
Blew up, yep.
Yep. And so right after that, Sony actually Microsoft bought the rights to Tomb Raider. So they produced 2 more Tomb Raider games. Okay? And so you had literally, if you wanted to play Tomb Raider, you had to go to Xbox. If you wanted Uncharted, you had to go to PlayStation. And literally, it got to the point of Tomb Raider actually stole the cover to their game of the year, their Rise of the Tomb Raider game. They stole it straight from the cover of Uncharted.
No way.
It was, I think it's the Game of the Year edition. Literally came out, I think, a few months actually fairly long time after So this is the cover to Rise of the Tomb Raider. That came out, I think, a little bit last year. Okay. 2 years ago in August, out came the Nathan Drake collection, which was one of my favorite games I played because it was just essentially just the 3 games remastered for PlayStation 4. Notice a little bit of a difference at all? I don't. Same colors, like just a different color scheme.
Yeah, same scheme and everything. Just there's added little different colors.
Yeah. So those games, if you have a PlayStation 4 and you got about $10, because I think it's super cheap now, those are 3 masterpieces. Those are 3 movies that are just great, or 3 games, excuse me. They're good. I mean, essentially they're like movies. They're so good. It's like playing a movie.
Yeah, they're actually more of the single player adventure.
The multiplayer's not that. I mean, I'll be honest with you, the multiplayer's iffy at best.
Yeah,
it's the story and the single player you play it for.
Yeah.
But back to coming out Friday. So we talked about Assassin's Creed Origins, and then the other one, Wolfenstein: The New Colossus. This is a game that's been in development for a few years now from Bethesda Studios. It's going to follow the same storyline of Wolfenstein, which is Nazi America, the Klan, Nazis. The German won the world. Germany won the war. So
I actually never picked up one of those games.
It's pretty good. Bethesda takes their time on their games.
Oh yeah, Bethesda.
They're a very quality over quantity type of game. Like they just, I think, they just got the copyrights to Fallout New Orleans. And usually when you just acquire the copyrights, it usually means 4 to 5 years till the game comes out.
Yeah.
And Elder Scrolls 6 has been something people have been waiting for announcements for, which I think is coming within the next few years. You'll probably get an Elder Scrolls game.
Oh, yeah.
So that will drive people crazy. I also just got a notification, breaking news, 10-time Pro Bowler left tackle Joe Thomas out for the rest of the season with torn triceps.
Wow.
That sucks for him.
Ooh. How do you even tear your tricep?
I don't know. I mean, in football, you tear everything.
You do tear everything.
I mean, how did Jeremy Lin rupture his patella tendon? I mean, just one bad turn, one bad cut, one bad move on the fight for it, you just blow it.
Blow it. Yeah, but you're always on you're always using your knees though. Knees are probably one of the most common injuries.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us today. Any last words for you, Cam?
No.
No? Okay. And that's it for me. So this has been episode 2/3 of the Going Over Clean podcast. We will get back to you on Wednesday. Until then, it's been my pleasure to serve you.